Hello again. See, I'm doing another one. This is good. Okay, so today, if you were watching these on a different day, we are going to be doing, like we said last time, we're following the tune index. So if you look at the tune index, we are doing Aberystwyth. Dunno, don't speak that version of English, which is fine. So we are going to use, for our little rehearsal here today, we're going to use number 5, Psalm number 5. When possible, I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Psalm text, just because it'll be nice to have a complete, ish Psalter. It should be a complete Psalter then when we're done, I think. If I did my math right. If I didn't, we'll figure that out. But anyway, this, if you want to know, is also the tune for numbers 115a. Oh, then it won't be a complete Psalter. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. 115a and 450. So Psalm 115a and hymn 450. We are going to turn to Psalm 5. Hear my words, O Lord. And this actually, unintentionally, is kind of a nifty segue from the last video I uploaded, which we talked about tonal centers and kind of where the home note lives. This is another one that shifts around a little bit, so it's good practice to kind of hear what that's like. Even if you know this, I'm going to go ahead and just play through it one time, and I want you to practice those listening skills. So you're listening for two things. You're listening always for the top note, because that's going to be the melody note, the note that you're going to be singing, and once you kind of got a hold of that, if that's all that you're kind of comfortable doing right now, that's totally fine. Listen for the top note. That's the number one thing to do. If you are like, yep, I got that down, I want you to then also start listening for the notes around it. So you're intentionally saying, okay, I'm tracking the melody note through the tune, and now I want to listen to how the other notes are kind of working around that, because that's going to give you a lot of really good information if you can get used to listening to those kind of multiple notes. And I'm not talking about like, what are all the other parts? You must be able to write them down. No. I'm really just thinking about how do the surrounding notes kind of affect the melody note? How does it feel? How does it sound? What does it do something wonky to the way that I sing it? So those are just kind of more advanced questions if you're a little bit of a music nerd that you can think about. Again, if you're like baby beginner, which I say with love, I love the term baby beginner, track the melody note. That is totally good. That is an excellent thing to be doing. And in that case, block out all other information. So that's kind of the different level. When you're ready to level up, you can do that. But for now, if you're just learning the melody, just whoop, zero in on that melody note and you'll be good to go. All right, I'm going to play through this so you can kind of hear how everything fits together. Shift. And back. Now a big shift. And another one. Okay, so I gave you some hints there along the way that, oh, we're gonna have a shift, oh, we're gonna have another shift. And the really nifty thing is, one of these is actually exactly the same in the video I uploaded prior. When you get to the end of the second line, I will pray to you alone, that's the same note, and then it's gonna be here one time, and then it's gonna go to here, and now it sounds really different. And again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, just hang on for dear life and you'll be fine. Okie dokie. I think we've sung this before. And yet I have no markings, which means I didn't play it. So never mind, I don't know. All right, let's do a couple verses, and per usual, I'll just stop if something whacks me in the brain that I feel like I need to share. So starting with verse 1, hear my words, ready and breathe. Hear my words, O Lord my God, listen to my sighs. wedding cries. I will watch when comes the dawn. I will bring my sacrifice. Surely you are not a God who in evil takes delight. Evil shall not dwell with you, nor the proud stand in your sight. Evil doers, Lord, you hate. Lying ones will you lay waste. Men who murder and deceive, God the Lord abhors and hates. Pause briefly. To address this last line, I was realizing as we went through that sometimes that M consonant for men who murder, that feels like a great tongue twister or something. If you try to do men who murder, nope, death, instant death. So get through that M as quickly as humanly possible, and if this note is a little bit high for you to sing comfortably, don't even sing the M. And deceive, and then you can go back to the text. And I know that I'm skirting the edge of like, are we doing singing technique or are we doing singing in church? But still read the words, right? I mean, you have to do that. So this isn't to like, don't sing the words, but I just want to say that. This is just to make it easier so you can pay attention to the words. Now, what was I saying? Yes, okay, so getting through the M's really fast, just like they're the little babiest little poof of air. Men who murder and deceive. Good to go. Same thing is going to be true on the third and fourth verses on that S, since, and snare. Ooh, snare, double consonant on a high note. High note. Rude. Let's try it. Third verse. Since my enemies, you're going to just pop that S almost like a Z. Since my enemies are near. And the same thing on snare. Oh my gosh. Just drop that in the bucket. Snare them in the schemes they plan. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to focus on the vowel. Probably should have said that earlier, but I'm saying it now. Focus on the vowel that is in the word. So for men, quick as you can. Since, since, snare. I would kind of do that as another because it's higher. Snare them in the schemes they plan. Now, the word you is a consonant. Y is a consonant. U is not a consonant. Technically, Y is one of the, right? Because we get the little sometimes Y situation. Because when we're singing, Y is actually kind of a compound, U is a compound vowel situation. You. So that means you can have that E vowel nice and high. Gentlemen, that's actually, if you're here, the E vowel is going to be really helpful to you. Ladies, it's going to be less helpful because that's just how voices work. So guys, really love that E vowel and sing through it. You will bless the blah, blah, blah. Ladies, just, again, throw it away. You will bless the righteous Lord. Okay, so that's where we start to differentiate a little bit just between the men and women folk. Okie dokie. Great. So let's see, we ended on verse 2, right? So let's do the last 3 verses, and I'll try to cue you a little bit for those ending phrases. All right. Verse 3, ready and breathe. But in your great love will I, carry through if you can, come into your house of grace. Wow, I was not expecting to make it all the way through that. Okay. Reverence. right. Reverent, I will worship there, bowing toward your holy place. Same note. Guide me safely, O my Lord, in your perfect righteousness, since my enemies are near. Make straight paths before my face. Verse 4. Not one word they say is true. From their heart destruction comes, and their throats are open graves. Yet they flatter with their tongues. Make them bear their guilt, O God. Let them by their counsels fall. Slay them in the schemes they plan. For against you they rebel. Let all those who flee to you, go ahead and breathe, find their refuge and be glad. Let them ever sing for joy. Over them protection spread. Those who truly love your name magnify you with their praise. You will bless the righteous Lord, shielding him with all your grace. Yay. Very good. Excellent. So like we said, that's also the hymn tune for number 115A and 450, I think. I was gonna say something. Breathing. Breathing at the ends of phrases. So, if you were doing your little studies on note rhythms, right, you know that a half note, which is the head, got a head and a stem, and is hollow on the inside, not colored in, I was gonna say, because that's what I say to the children. I'm sorry. So, head, stem, not colored in. You know it's a half note, you know it's gonna be longer, it's 2 beats. Here's the thing, you have to breathe, and you have to breathe somewhere in the span of time as the music is keeping the beat, right? So you have to breathe somewhere in the beat. So for example, even at the very beginning, hear my words, O Lord my God. I won't have time to breathe if I hold it for 2 beats, so you drop one. Just cut off early so you can come in on time. That's always going to be the rule. And same thing. So you don't need to be a hero and like, hold it out to the end of the bar. No. Lord my God, breathe, listen to. Good rule of thumb is you're kind of dropping a whole beat. So it essentially becomes a quarter note and then you breathe on the 4th beat. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Just breathe where it's comfy because there's a ton of people singing and it's all good. The other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is tempo. So when you're doing these at home, if you're not just doing it with me, and obviously then I'm playing, so it's not a big deal, but if you're just singing on your own and you're kind of like, how do I know how fast to go? The goal is to kind of get through a musical phrase in one breath. There are like 10,000 caveats to that, but just take that for what it is. Insert qualifiers here. So for example, this one, we're gonna say this is a 2-bar phrase because the phrase kind of ends after the first 2 bars. Hear my words, O Lord my God. God. You can kind of hear how that is almost like part of a sentence, right? Or indeed, yes, it's part of a sentence. Sometimes it's a whole sentence. So you want to do that so that you can do that entire phrase in one breath. That's the goal. So you can kind of play around with that and know what that's like. If you do too fast, hear my words, oh Lord my God, listen to my sighs and groans, then you will do too much. If you go too slow, you won't get there. Hear my words, oh Lord my God, and then you're dying. So that can be a good rule of thumb for picking a tempo for yourself. Good. All right. Hopefully I'll be able to record a few more of these before I run out of steam. Excellent. Happy singing.